Breathe in, breathe out. This is not respiration. This is called inhalation. All right. Now in this class, I'm going to explain respiration from the beginning to the end. And guess what? I'll be adding past questions for WAEC and Jamb so that you're going to be preparing for your examinations at the same time. This is really online learning, and I still remain support. Okay, so now we know the characteristics of living things, right? Mr. Niger Duck. All right, so one of the R's there is the respiration. Okay, now respiration is not just breathing in and breathing out. Of course, it's part of it, but that is not what respiration is. Now, have you wondered how the food we eat is utilized by the body? Okay, now the process of respiration makes sure that glucose is broken down, all right, with the use of oxygen or without the use of oxygen. Glucose is in form of the food that you've eaten. So let's say you're talking about aerobic respiration. That means oxygen is going to be used to break this glucose down into energy. That energy, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is the major thing they're looking for, with byproducts of water and CO2. All right, so there's a video that I've made earlier on photosynthesis. Go and watch it so that you understand what I'm talking about. All right, respiration is a biochemical and an enzymatic activity of the cell which aims at breaking down glucose with or without the use of oxygen to release energy needed for life activity. Okay, so during this process, a byproduct of CO2 and water is released, but our focus is on the ATP, that is the adenosine triphosphate, and that is the energy that is needed for life processes. All right, we're going to go ahead to talk about the stages of phases of respiration. The first is the external respiration, which is known as inhalation or inspiration. Breathe in, then breathe out. Breathing out is exhalation or expiration. All right, so this is external respiration, the one that just happens externally, while internal respiration is the one that happens inside the body. That's the biochemistry. All right, so it involves the breaking down of glucose now, okay, with or without oxygen. So we have two types of internal respiration. That's why we have the aerobic with oxygen, then anaerobic without oxygen. And you must know the equations for these two types of respiration. Now, conditions necessary for respiration. There are certain conditions that must be put in place for respiration to occur. First of all, we must have a respiratory medium. This is the environment from which the organism inhales oxygen. For example, air and water. All right, that is the respiratory medium. Then man inhales air, all right, from the atmosphere.